that. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Are there guests? Yes, I can see the guests. If you could just stand up, give us your name. How did you hear about annual Toastmasters and why are you at Toastmasters? Three things.
Hello everyone, Hitesh this side.
Your name? Sorry. Hitesh.
So I've attended Toastmaster sessions in my office before, and I wanted to start working on table topic round more so that I can get over my stage fright and be better and respond to the stage. So that's the reason I'm here. And I heard about this community from a friend of mine who used to come here a year back. Children call.
Okay. I think it's four.
Yeah.
Which organization do you belong to?
I'm working for JP Morgan.
Okay.
And they're
So how come you didn't join the Toastmasters and JP Morgan?
So they have a top-down. So the ED recommends you for a Toastmaster session. So I just started attending that.
Okay.
And once I'm regular, maybe there will be another.
Thank you. Most welcome to Anand. We don't have any top-down approach. You are most welcome here.
Hi, myself is Vikram. Toastmasters you all go it's an art organization. I inquired on it, found it on your website, from there I got it in your Navi, and that's how I got in touch with you and connected with Father.
Thank you so much for coming. A couple of days back, our very own president, she messages me and she tells me, since she is the team mod, she told me, you give the POC. Now I'm wondering PO. So yesterday night I sat down, I said, let me, jot down something because I have to give an address here. So when I was sitting to give the address, what I realized was I was reminiscing for the first time when I actually attended a Toastmaster meeting and the first time I took up a tag role. It was, I think, a timer role. And I remember I had to pump myself up just to come up on stage and give an introduction of the timer. It was as if I was going to do skydiving without a parachute. Trust me. And when it came to my first physical speech, I don't even know how to recall that. I was sweating bullets 2 days prior to my speech, and you won't believe it. On the day I came here, I actually wore my dress inside out. And I realized that only after the meeting when we were sitting in some restaurant and eating. And fast forward to last week when I got invited to speak to at least 5 Toastmasters meeting about eloquence. And I realized I was not really sweating bullets. I was fine. I was okay to go. I didn't have to, really pump myself. I was pretty comfortable. Now, I'm not saying that, I have the cure all for it and I'm no longer nervous. I am still nervous. I am still sweating. But what I've realized is this was the magic of Toastmasters. I did it anyway. That is what Toastmasters teaches us. We all are here. We are nervous about something. We are scared to go up on stage, but we still come and do it anyway. That is what Toastmasters is all about. And what I really treasure about Toastmasters is I have seen the progress in all of you over here. I have seen some people start and where they are right now. And we also have we had last week. What fabulous speeches. And each one of them, we have seen them progress. We have seen how they have grown from the first time they came up on stage to what they are right now. All I want to tell all of you is that do it anyway. We are all scared, do it anyway. Now, I would like to call on our Toastmaster of the day, our Madam President, who is an avid traveler, a dancer, our division, ISC level division winner, and sorry, marathoner, and a hopeful winner for ISC this year. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. It is said that if you want to know what love is, just fall in love. But if you want to know what unconditional love is, get a dog. Do you agree or not with me? have these adjectives like faithful, loyal, man's best friend. It is also said that they are the only creatures on this earth who can love a human being who love anybody more than themselves. That's what dogs can do to us. So today, over the course of this meeting, we will have a few trivia questions, tidbits, facts, and figures about dogs in general. Before that, if we can just hold there. I don't think people are applauding. I'm getting Alright. The history with dogs actually goes way back because there is reference of dogs even in the epic book of Mahabharata. Does anybody know the story of the dog in Mahabharata? Yes. Followed in forever, the only one had to allow. Yes, yes. So the name of the dog was Dharma. After the entire Kurukshetra war was over, people were walking towards heaven. The Pandavas, the five Pandavas, to Swargruhini. So the name of the mountain itself is Swargruhini. As the name suggests, it's the way to go to heaven. That's why it's called Swargruhini. And the dog walked with Yudhishthir through the journey. The dog was walking with Yudhishthir. At the gate of the heaven, the doorkeeper said that the dog is not allowed inside. And he asked Yudhishthir to choose that either you come in and leave the dog behind. And Yudhishthir said no. He is my loyal companion. He's been with me throughout. And I will not go to heaven without him. If he's not allowed, impressed. And eventually it turns out that it was actually Indra who had taken the dog. And that's why he was so impressed that only Yudhishthir was allowed inside heaven because of this answer that he gave. So that's the love that humans and dogs share with each other. Like I said, over the course of the meeting, we will go through some tidbits about. Before that, I would want to tell everybody, especially the guests, what Toastmasters is all about. Toastmasters International is an organization which is spread across almost 150 countries and almost 3 lakh members are there currently in Toastmasters. A structure of any regular Toastmasters meeting, there are 3 segments to it. A prepared speeches segment, a table topics, which is an impromptu speech segment, and third is the general evaluation, wherein the people who have given the prepared speeches will receive feedback on their speeches by their respective evaluators. Like they say, dogs are pillars for most of people's lives. Similarly, we have 3 main pillars in today's meeting, which is also known as the tag team. So, out of the tag team, I would first like to call upon the grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Mahesh Raj. Okay, can you know what the word for adopter is? Yes, grammarian.
But little complex, so probably.
What is Sinophile, which is P-Y, which I known as the word for dogs. Okay, we are having these questions. So anybody who will be coming on the stage, I will be asking one trivia question about the dog. And if one not able to, then it's open for the audience. We start with something very easy. What is the most prominent sense of a dog? Yes, that's right.
Good evening, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm Mahesh Raj and I'm wearing the hat of a grammarian. Why did the grammarian bring a ladder to class?
Thank you.
To help them reach high standards of English.
Oh.
So before you call me non-serious role player, let me get back to the agenda. So as a grammarian, it's my responsibility to listen carefully, pay close attention to all the speakers, listening carefully to their English usage. I'll take a note of any improper language as well as highlight any outstanding words, phrases, and sayings. It's also my responsibility to introduce the word of the day and phrase of the day. So the word of the day is epitome, which means a person or thing that is a perfect example or embodiment of a particular quality. Example of a usage is the well-preserved ancient ruins serve as the epitome of the city's rich historical heritage. Phrase of the day is to pigeonhole, which means to categorize or label somebody. Example of usage is she tried to pigeonhole him into a specific role, but he proved to be versatile and skilled in various areas. I would encourage each one of you to use the word and phrase of the day. I shall come and give the grammarian report during the meeting when called upon, and at the same time, I'll also give the usage of word and phrase of the day. Thank you.
Speaking of dogs, is incomplete without the narration of this story, famous story of this dog Hachiko from Japan. Does anybody know the story of this? Yes. Yes, please.
So, no, that refers to reading at the
Ritual.
which I gave and was so Hachiko was his pet. He died long back, and Hachiko still remembers he's still going to the station waiting for him and not seeing him, but eventually he dies on the rail tracks. That's the big memory that I have. And I think they also have a statue of Hachiko in
Yes.
Japan around that station where Richard Gere came
Yes.
down.
So a good reference to the movie, but the movie is actually coming from a real life story in the
It's not a fiction.
Yes, yes. Yes. Thank you so much. It was in the year 1945 when this story happened. The professor, the owner, that is the master of the dog, was a professor in a university in Japan. And every single day he used to come via the metro train to that particular station. And Hachiko, his dog, used to go to the station at that particular fixed time. And unfortunately, the master passed away. And even the master passed away, every single day at the fixed time, the dog used to go to the station at that time. And he became friends with the station counters, the people and the details. And that's how the story became very famous. And like you rightly mentioned, there is a statue. Even after the dog passed away, there is a statue. And now they have unveiled a statue of the dog with the master as well in that particular station. Can anybody take a guess how long did that after the master passed away? Every single day the dog was in the station. How long was that? Yeah, close to 10. 9 whole years the dog used to go to the station, just wait for that particular train to arrive, thinking that his master will come and pick him. Like I said, man's best friend, faithful, loyal. These are just few words that you can use for the love of a dog. And just like the dog used to go every single day at that fixed time, we also have somebody here who's very cautious of the time here. And that is our timer for the day. Toastmasters. Before you start, I also have one quick question for you. What part of the body through which a dog sweats? Which part of it? No, that's something. Yes, Ron was right actually. Oh my god. Yes. It's dogs sweat through their nose. But
my duty is to time the prepared speeches, table topics, and evaluation. For prepared speeches, the time allotted varies as per the project stated by the evaluator. For table topics, the time allotted is 1 to 2 minutes. For evaluation, time allotted is 2 to 3 minutes. I display the green card at minimum qualifying time, yellow card at the mid of qualifying time, red card at qualifying time. For prepared speeches evaluation, the speaker has 30 seconds grace period at the minimum qualifying time and at the maximum qualifying time. For table topic, there is a grace of 30 seconds after the maximum qualifying time. All speakers who continue to speak beyond the 30 seconds grace period will not get qualified. I share my one spot.
They say boo, they say rough, they say bow wow. Different dogs have different barks. You, the owner, or somebody who's very closely associated with the dog, will know what barks means what, whether he needs water, or whether he is hungry, or whether he needs to go out for a. You as the owner would know that. Can I say that dogs also have finger boots similar to will be noted down. I have one question for you. This is a little difficult one. How many teeth does an adult dog have? No, madam. Yeah. Yes, it's right. Puppies have 28. The full grown dog.
Hello and warm greetings to everyone. Myself is Vanisha and I'm the accountant for today. My job is to listen to everyone very carefully and note down any crutch word, filler phrases, and pauses long and short. Crutch words are which we generally tend to use, and filler words are but, like, so. Filler phrases, you know, so that, etc. And if you have any special word or favorite word, for example, I have word like. And when called upon, I'll give my report.
Courtesy to our Toastmasters, we have started this new practice. Second today, that every team has a 5-minute session on one of the roles, so that we get to know what are the best practices, how to do that particular role. So, since it's the first time today, we are choosing timer as today's role. Today's education session, 5-minute session, will be conducted by our Kim Village, who will be telling us good practices on how to nail the timer role. So, over to you. And before that, what sense of the dog is developed very later? I mean, when the puppy is born, the puppy doesn't have this sense, but it's developed later.
Sense of disloyalty.
That is for humans.
Disloyalty. Like I said, that never comes. Yes. When I say sense, I mean the 5 senses of God. Smell. So it's the answer is hearing. Puppies are born deaf.
they gradually develop their sense of humor.
Sorry, पल पल वक्त ने किया क्या हसीन से तुम. You know the importance of time in our Hindi songs also. There are so many beautiful romantic songs and there are so many tragic songs which are made on time. And that is why there's a importance of time and we call it time tag role. So timer, counter and grammar. The first is the timer. Apart from the good practices, the skills that a timer learns while he performs at work is he develops his listening abilities. He listens to whatever is happening very keenly, very intently. He has to be very agile in terms of showing the cards because on his cards, the speaker is dependent and he will sometimes, you will see the yellow card coming up and suddenly the speed goes on from 120 seconds, 120 words to 140 words, 150 words. Or suddenly after the red card, suddenly abruptly speed closes down and people stop their speech. The most important thing that you learn in Toastmasters about timing, and if you properly learn the skill, is when you are supposed to deliver elevator pitches. So I hope you are aware about elevator pitches. You have to convey your message. You have to convey whatever you wish to say in a particular time, and that is why it is very important for each one of us to stay within that stipulated time. I relate time to one more factor that is one of the core values of Toastmasters. When we talk about IRSE, respect. So we have to respect the time of each and every person who has come for the meeting, who's coming for the meeting, who has joined online, because all of us have left our jobs or whatever we were doing and come to the meeting for to spend time for us. So, and it is not correct on our part to waste the time of somebody if we are not ready and if we are not on time. The good practice as a timer that I can just say is that whenever you take up this role, you should have a very, a watch or whatever device that you are using to measure the time. You should always be very careful because many times it happens that you go on listening to the speeches and you forget about the timing and suddenly after if it's a 1 to 2 minute table topics and your you know your card is raised after 1 minute 15 seconds. Please be very careful. Listen to the speeches, but you will definitely have to sacrifice something. So sometimes don't listen or listen to, you have to strategize your timing. You should have a sense of timing in the sense that listen to the speeches and then look at the timing, things like that. That is the first thing. Second thing is that you have to show your cards at a level, say for example, chest height. So the time or the card and the color must be visible to the speaker, but it should not intimidate you in the sense that you raise the card and that kind of thing. So that should not be there. By the way, timer, are you timing me? 3, 4, 5. You are not timing me. As a timer, whatever I can tell you in our official capacities, whenever we go for meetings, and this is something which you must have faced. There are people who are coming on time. People don't respect the value of time, and it is so irritating. I have, when I conduct meetings or when I'm called for a meeting or when I go for a meeting, how many times you must have seen people coming late? something which you appreciate. The first comment which the GE, when he comes here on the stage and he says, meeting started on time. And just see the importance of time when it is emphasized by the GE that meeting started on time. Finally, what I would like to say is that service is one of the core values of Toastmaster. We try to take bigger roles. We always want to have speaker roles, but it is important to have these small roles because you are doing a service to the club by taking up these small roles, which help the running of the club. That's all from my side.
Thank you so much, PT and Vinay. I hope everyone now knows the best practices of whenever you take up a timer role next time, you know what to do and what not to do. Okay? Thank you so much for that. And we look forward to many more people volunteering, give the best practices, maybe next time our counter, maybe grammarian or table topic master. So please tell responsibility that give your best practices. We'll now move on to the prepared speeches segment. Like I mentioned before, the prepared speeches is part of our Toastmasters Pathways curriculum. Today we have 4 speakers who have prepared their speeches and are ready to rock it and deliver on the stage. Before I call on the first speaker, I would like to call on the first evaluator, Toastmaster Amrita. Before you start your role, a question for you. Dogs are descendants of which animal? Yes, right. Today, for first of the day, fellow Toastmasters and the target speaker, Toastmaster Dheeraj. Today, I will be evaluating the speech given by Toastmaster Dheeraj, and he is presenting his icebreaker speech today. The purpose of this project is to introduce set curricula, and time of please note time is 5 to 7. All the very best Toastmaster Dheeraj. 46. Over to you. Going. One thing I'll ask you here. What is a group of puppies called? Like collective noun for a group of puppies. What?
What she said? What?
Not like best way to speak. Toastmaster Dheeraj, chapters of my life. Toastmaster.
Good evening, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmaster and the guest. How many of you believe that life is a collection of chapters? Whether good or bad, each chapter tells us a unique lesson. My name is Dheeraj Singh, and I'm here to share 2 chapters of my life and the lessons that I learned. In the interest of time, I have divided my life into simple 3 chapters. Let's get started. Chapter 1, School Days. I was born in Delhi in a loving, caring, but financially challenged farmer's family. When I reflect back on my school days, the only thing that comes to my mind is study. Yes, I studied a lot. I was told by the people around me at that time that if you wish to get out of poverty, the only solution you have is to study well. And this idea got so much edged in my mind that I used to study so much that if I face any difficulty, I will study harder on that. To give you an example, there was a fest in my school and all my colleagues wear cool new dress. I could have arranged new dress or borrowed it from someone else. But what I did, I wore the same old school uniform, attended the event, performed the task, came back home and studied with a stronger determination the whole night that I will get out of poverty. I was so much engrossed in the study that I neglected sports, fitness, extracurricular activities. I became so rigid that over the time I became overconfident. I became overconfident that I will be able to crack all the competitive examination that comes in my way. Then came the D-Day, the day which appears in the life of every student, the day to get admission to your desired engineering college. I was able to crack all the competitive examination, but my rank was very low. I scored 8,000 rank in IIT. Similar was my rank in AIT. And this was a major blow to me because I studied so hard and I was expecting a rank below 1,000. I got a very important lesson from this incident. Irrespective of your circumstances, one should never become very rigid, very stubborn with their attitude or with their approaches. I could have tailored my approach for competitive exam preparation. Nevertheless, I got admission to a good government engineering college. Now coming to the chapter 2, college days. On the first day of engineering college, I was 6 feet guy, very fat, entering the college gate like a sumo wrestler. And on the first day itself, I got a major setback to my mindset. I met a guy, Pawan Rai. Pawan Rai, who scored a rank similar to me. My rank was 48 out of 2 lakh students. His rank was around 42 out of 2 lakh students. In spite of getting good rank, he was having a very good physique, muscular physique, a sporty fitness that we saw of Bollywood actor and the TV actor. And before meeting him, I used to believe that one cannot be good in academics and the fitness at the same time. But this guy, Pawan Rai, shattered my belief completely. I realized that one can be good in studies as well as fitness if you spare few times out of your busy schedule. I incorporated fitness along with my study, but again, I neglected extracurricular activities. I was a term and I used to believe that for getting a good job, you should be good with the core and the technicals of the subject. And all the extracurricular activities is just a waste of time. Outside of the academic world, one more incident changed my perspective towards my life. I remember I was in third year of engineering when some phones in UP captured my ancestor land. When my father got to know about it, he decided that the next day he will be visiting the village. I wanted to accompany my father, but he refrained me from involving in all these things. Because in such types of incidents, if things escalate, there is possibility of FIR, cross FIR case against you. And you know that if in India you have any case or FIR registered against you, you will not get a good job, and specifically a good government job. But I could sense the stress and the worry on the face of my father. I cannot leave him alone. On that day, whole night I was in dilemma. What should I do? Out of contemplation, I concluded सूलों पे आ जाए तो टकराना जरूरी है, जिंदा हो तो जिंदा नजर आना जरूरी है. And this translates to someone strikes at your principle. It becomes crucial to confront that. But if you are alive, you should appear alive. Anyhow, I convinced my father. We visited the village, and the first time in my life, I unknown was holding a gun, an Indian-made gun that is called katta. And when I looked at the katta, I felt if this is what the destiny wants, let it be. Fortunately, nothing bad happened. We were easily able to go around and back. But I learned a very important lesson from this step, that even if you want to stay at peace in your life, you should be prepared, you should be ready for war. Coming to the chapter 3, after clearing my engineering, I got a placement from Honda Robotics, L&T, Bajaj Energy, Tata Chemical. I got selected into various government organizations, Department of Space, Department of Atomic Energy, as an assistant engineer in Power Corporation, and I joined one of the departments. I was doing good in my professional life. Like at a very young age, I got control of very powerful projects under me, national importance project, and I was doing well. But during this course, I realized that I am lacking in public speaking and leadership skills. And that's why I am here among all of you to learn these two skills. Thank you. Over to you.
Before we move on to the technical work, you also want to evaluate a computer Toastmaster Jesus. Yes, 1 minute for
Wait a minute. No.
We also have the attendance book that is circulating somewhere. The attendance sheet. Okay, I will move on. I would like to call upon our evaluator number 2, Toastmaster Jingle. The book writing, so they can't about. Toastmaster Jingle, I will be like for a simple. But I wouldn't want like what I'm assuming that you know the answers, but not one thing. What is unique? A dog. Every dog has a unique, like a human being has a fingerprint.
Tongue.
How is that unique?
The frequency of their bark.
Just like every human being has a unique face.
Speech is the purpose of the speech is right. Timing.
Let's keep the applause going and we welcome. Toastmaster Kunal, regarding the dog question, I have a very easy one for you. I think this most of us will get. Okay. What's common? Toastmaster, happiness is a state of mind. Happiness is a state of mind.
How many of you think that money can buy happiness? Okay, so I have a mix. For those who have not raised your hand, can money buy international trip for you? Yes. Cannot money buy expensive car? Yes. Cannot money buy big house? Yes. Cannot money sponsor party for Toastmaster Vidya and make her happy? Yes. The money can buy happiness, right? Well, I don't think so. I don't think money can buy happiness. And the reason, or one of the example is Deepika Padukone. Can you see all the guys blushing? Please don't think of that. Now, Deepika Padukone, do you think she's famous? Yeah. Do you think she's rich?
Yes.
But she did go through a struggle of anxiety and depression. That if there was a phase that she was not happy, then why she was not happy if she has everything in life? Luxuries, money can never buy happiness, and I can vouch for it. So, what is one thing that can buy happiness? Or let's not use the word buy. What is the one thing that can cater happiness, that can bring happiness in your life? Good evening, everyone. Today, I'm going to give you perception of happiness. You could be having a big flat. You could be having an expensive car. You could be having all the luxuries in life. But you could be abusive, you could be aggressive, and you will never be happy. This can never make you happy. The luxuries can never make you happy. Because happiness is a state of mind. Let me give you some pointers which I'm practicing in my life that can make you happy or give you a state of mind which is happy. Pointer number one. Okay, before I start with pointer number one, Toastmaster Amrita, who is the most important person in your life? Parents, very good. Toastmaster Libby, who is the most important person in your life? Yes, Shrikant, right? If I'm pronouncing it. Who is the most important person in your life? Okay, so most of the time when we ask, we get an answer like my parents, my kids, my spouse, my family. Perfect. They are very important. But friends, the most important person in your life should be yourself. Give that importance to yourself. Treat yourself as the most important person. Pamper yourself. Spend time with yourself. Do what you like. Of course, you are going to go for a responsibility towards your parents, spouse, and kids. But if you don't consider yourself as the most important person, in the process of giving happiness to them, you might lose yourself. So make sure that consider and always consider yourself as the most important person. Going to pointer number 2. Handling criticism. There is not a single person in this world who is liked by everyone. Let me repeat myself. There is not even a single person in this world who is liked by everyone. Even Mother Teresa, who was epitome of love, was criticized. So, hamari kya baat? If you think that criticism is positive, take it happily and work on it. If not, ignore it. कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना. Forget it. Don't think too much about it. Pointer number 3. Perfection. Nice to be perfect. Nice to do all the things in a perfect manner. But certainly it is not nice to be perfect every time or expect that perfection from others every time. I'll give you my example. If this is a pen I'm using, I had this habit. If I'm taking this pen, I will always keep it from the place where I took it, and it has to be in a manner where it works. And if someone else is using it, it has to be the same way. Otherwise, I get frustrated. Why did you take my pen and put it like this? But when I had a kid, I realized you cannot have perfection. It's okay. Sometimes enjoy that messiness. That is also an enjoyable thing. So these are the 3 pointers that I'm currently practicing in my life, and it's really helping me. Tell me one thing. Is it possible for anyone to be happy all the time? No, certainly not. We have our ups and downs in life. It is okay, friends, to break down. It is okay, friends, to go through emotional turmoil. It is okay, friend, to give up for a certain time. I don't want to do anything. But it is not okay to get up again. If you break down, that's fine. But get up again. Start again. Don't give up. With this, I want to summarize. Spread kindness. Help others. Love yourself. Enjoy every moment. Cherish moment. Because happiness is a state of mind. Yeah.
One feedback. Are we done? Because Sakshi is clicking pictures and making me out. Let's move on to speaker number 3. Our speaker number 3 is Toastmaster Krati. We have 2 evaluators here. Evaluator number 3 is Toastmaster Rohidas. He's doing his evaluation for the first time. We have an evaluate the evaluator. Evaluator number 5, Toastmaster Sangeeta Shruti. How many conception is a puppy boy? How many? Later is a puppy boy. 6 months a week. 6 months.
Toastmaster of the day, Toastmasters friends, namaskar. My target evaluator today is Toastmaster Rohidas. He's giving his evaluation for the first time. So the object is to give and receive an evaluation for his speech. Good luck to you, Toastmaster Rohidas.
Toastmaster Rohidas, do you know Dalmatians as a dog? You must have seen the movie 101 Dalmatians. It's a very simple true or false question. Dalmatians are born with spots.
No, I think they did not complete.
Yes. So that's right. Dalmatians are born full white, and the she just got see interesting. They all have spots.
I just related this with human beings. The human babies, when they are born, they cannot see colorful things. It's completely black and white. So, bringing friends, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. My name is Rohidas Chitte, and my today's target speaker is Krati. And her pathway is presentation mastery, and she will be appearing for her level 1 project number 3. And the project consists of introduction to vocal variety and body language. Timer, kindly note the timing would be for 5 to 7 minutes. What you
Which is the most popular breed of dog that people have? Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, and anyone out here has the pleasure and pain of having a roommate. Today, I stand in front of you depicting the epic sad saga of me and my problematic. Yes. So it was 22nd of September 2022 when I joined Galaxy Guest House. And I know that someone is going to share this room with me. And suddenly, a message popped on my phone of 2-3 days of my joining that, hey, I am your new prospective roommate, Aditi Jain. Do Do you eat non-veg? I'm saying no, she has a son. Then I said her that I don't eat non-veg, but I'll be following a really strict diet throughout because I am in a very healthy journey. And she says, yes, we will do it together. I will contribute to it. And she has similar amount of contribution in my health and dietary habits as much as Libya and Vidya. See more. She made me eat all those what can I do? Let me give you a brief history of her, how she is. So I thought of, as soon as I opened the door, I seen an innocent face, but little did I know that she was a very clever personality. She looks very sweet, a small, dusty girl, chota packet, but bada. She is like Meta of everything. I will do this, I will do this. Very dramatic, very moody. Like she has mood swings. Now, for big things, she will be like, okay, chill. Like, there's not creative first. Give one example. There was a theft in our guest house. It was all girls' guest house with 6 girls living there. And at the midnight of 3, a thief entered in a room, in the bedroom, not only in the guest house, he entered a room of one of my fellow friend which came here last. The thief entered in her room. He stole the phone and accessories from there, and we were all awake at 3:30, and we were all scared and frightened. I was very sleepy. I thought of going to the washroom. And we are literally very much frightened at how could someone enter in the bedroom? What if he should have done something else? And she was laughing outside the. I can hear the laugh, and I shouted from the washroom. What happened? And she's like, मेरी washroom की slipper भी ले गया. Not silly girls. Certain days, few initial days were okay. We started having conflicts. Conflicts in the sense that we were two very different personalities. As a person, we were same in terms of our personality and behavior, but we have very different thought process, set of ideologies, set of perspectives, and the way we look at people. All these things were very different. Soon I realized that she is very immature. And this thing is creating a bit stuff in my head. And what kind of thing she's always speaking about other people, why she's judging other people, and it's created a discomfort and lack of trust for me towards her, that she might be doing similar kind of things for me as well. So this created a sense of negativity in between us, and negativity started brewing in between us. And this has lasted for few days, and we were like in a very much discomfort. This ended up in 2 major fights in between us, and I also thought of changing them. But I had no other option. As a continuation of this, slowly we decided, as we don't have any other option, keeping the grudges in our heart, we started our small conversations with each other. We started adjusting with each other. There were times when I was ill and she was only there with me. There was time when she needs me and I was only there with her. We started taking care of each other. We started cooking together. We started discussing our office things together. And we started doing a lot of things together and spending a lot of time and a quality time. And during this time, I made myself understand that there might be different kinds of people in this world, and there might be different set of upbringings, different set of understanding, different set of mindsets they might be carrying. And it's not necessary that mindset is same as what I am having. So I should also have some sense of adaptability and acceptance towards that mindset. It's just about giving the space that we are two different persons and we have to give each other space in respect of our ideologies and thinking. It's just that we have a good time with each other. We are here to build great relationships and bond. So the place where I feel the discomfort at a point of time becomes the most comfortable place for me. The person whom I can't tolerate for a minute in my room becomes the person who I land up after the office telling all the office things. So this is how we developed our relationships. We nurtured it, we grown it, and this is what I want to tell with the help of my today's speech, that yes, relationships can be nurtured, they can be revamped, and we can always work upon relationships. I have read a lesson in my 8th class moral science chapter that no man is solitude, and we are here to build strong relationships and bonds, and that's what we are. So yes, this is my speech for today, and I want to create a great bond here as well, to which I can carry in my heart for the rest of my life. Thank you.
We'll just uniforms in that other bag. But moving on to the fourth speaker for today. Our fourth speaker is Toastmaster Rashmi. Before I invite Toastmaster Rashmi, I would like to invite the evaluator, that is Toastmaster Rashmi. What a smirk on his face. How do you convert a dog age to a human age? Like, what is the multiplier? So, yeah, this is faster.
Wrong note on.
He had, yeah. Yeah, so for example, dog is human age, it's close to 21. Dog was dog.
There will be quality. Pathway is leadership development. She is going to her project one, level 1, project 4. The timer is looked that the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. And this is the most interesting speech of level 1 because here first we will be giving a speech. The objective is to give a speech, then receive a feedback from the evaluator, and then apply the feedback in the next speech. So all the best.
Wrong side. Please, continue this applause to welcome our. What is the average age like? 8 to 7 or no? Ready? Please. Toastmaster Rashmi, time out. Time out.
Thank you. Good evening, today, my fellow Toastmasters and guests. So, in the beginning of this year, like every year, I made a resolution. And one of the resolution was that I will stick to my 9 hours of job. I will not extend my work hours. So, it went well for the first 3 weeks of Jan, and I felt I'm very successful. And then I was told by Jan 20 that there will be few visitors in the office. We will have to make presentations. And there also came an audit email as well that there will be an internal audit at the office. So boom. So I worked 8 to 9 hours in office. I got my laptop back, like we always have that. I started working all the nights of that week. Now, my little daughter, because she was used to seeing me at home and giving her time for the first 3 weeks, she couldn't understand what's happening. So she came to me, let's go down, let's play. I told her, then just help me do my homework. I'll do it. by the time it was the 4th and the 5th day, she was very frustrated and she told me, why don't you stay at office? So this thing really pinched me that people who really want our time, need our time, do they really need to ask for that? And that's the time when I started to ponder that it's not the office that has to be free, but it's my time management wherein I can do. I could have actually managed the time very well. And actually, I could have done that better than toiling all the nights and actually just breaking all the day, not giving enough time for the things that are required in my life. So time management is life management. And when we talk about time management, I'm sure many of you all must have heard the story about a professor who takes a big jar in the class, and he takes his 3 bottles with him, and he tells the students that let's put one of the bottle has rocks, the size of rocks, and he says that can we put all these rocks in this jar? And students say yes, we can. Then he puts everything and fills it up to the brim. Now the second bottle has pebbles in it, and he asks the students, do you think we can put these pebbles into the jar? Students say no, there is no space. And then the professor puts the pebbles, then he just shakes the jar. The pebbles actually go and sit inside the spaces between the rocks. And there, the pebbles have also settled. He gets a third bottle, and that's sand. He says, can we fit this into the jar? The students say, no, there is no space at all. But then he just pours the sand, and actually the sand just settles now into the jar. And that's what they say. These rocks which are there inside the jar of life are the most important things in our life, without whom we can't really live. And that's family, that's health, that's friends. The other small pebbles are the work, the career, the house, the car that we all work for. And the sand are the all miscellaneous and preliminary elements of our life. It is very important that we have all these things nicely placed inside the jar. Because otherwise, if you fill the jar with sand and other things first, then there will be no place for those big rocks in your life, which are very, very important. Play a very important part in our life. So, everyone has heard and learned about time management during our graduation days, during our management days. We all know how important time management is. It helps to achieve our goals quicker. It helps to have a better work-life balance. It helps us become more successful. How can we do that? Prioritize things. Ensure that there is correct balance in our life. Ensure that we are having a check interval in case the time that we are giving to each of the target or each of the things is correct. And also ensure that we just sit back and analyze that, is it really required the race that we are running in? Is it required that we need to be so much into it? Or can we just relax and give time to each of the things? Talking about time management, there's another story that I would want to reflect on. In a kingdom, there was this rule wherein one king has to rule for 5 years. The king rules for 5 years, and post that he, after the end of his term, he goes to a jungle which is outside the kingdom. And that's the end of it. So basically, whoever goes to the jungle doesn't come back. And by the time it was the end of one king's tenure, the people selected one king, one man, and asked him to be a king. The king was very hesitant to be the king, the man. He said that, and because the repercussions of, because after being a king, you have to walk into the forest. But the people were very adamant, they wanted him as a king. So the man said, I can be a king, but on one condition, I want to see the place where people walk into after the end of their term. So he sees that that's a very dangerous place. It has tall trees, dangerous animals. So he comes back to the kingdom, agrees to be a king. Now for the next 5 years, what he does is, he ensures that the place which he'll be walking in after 5 years is a better place. So in the first year, he cuts down the trees. In the second year, he ensures that all the dangerous animals from the forest are actually moved to a safe place. By third year, he ensures that there is farming done. There are houses built around. And then the fifth year, it's a better place. So what he did is, all that 5 years that he had with him, along with his primary responsibility as a king, he also thought about it, what can I do at the end of the term when I walk into that forest and make it a better place? Likewise, in our life as well, it is very important that it's not just the present thing that we are thinking about and giving time to, but the health which we actually neglect so much, and that's something which we'll be actually living with after 60 years as well, after this work ends and all our primary responsibility ends, is also given that amount of care, that amount of pampering, like he said. Just to end my thing, time management, like we say, we need to surely read it in good books or in big management, these schools. But the Dabbawalas, who are the epitome of management skills, actually, are the best examples of time management, how they deliver so many tiffins in a day with very, very primary education. So let's learn things from such examples in life and be better at time management. Thank you so much.
Let's take about 1 minute to fill the time. Meanwhile, attendance book.
महिमा को बुलाओ ये 25 मिनट के लिए टीटीएम 25 मिनट्स का है क्या टोटल 25 का रेट 370
While that is happening, I would request our timer, Toastmaster Shweta, please read the time taken by all the speakers. It's 5 minutes, 80 seconds, 6 minutes, 50 seconds. 20 seconds, all on 25 seconds. Congratulations, all the speakers are qualified for the award. That is the end of the questions. We now move on to the daily topic section, which is the impromptu speech. Yes. Yes.
no they are sitting together daily
Then she gave him the advice. You have impromptu.
Like whenever in our professional life or in our personal life, whenever we are talking to our friends also, to help us to someone throws a question or something, we are able to speak about it. So that is the whole point of this session. So today I have something different. I have few things in my bag, and speaker have to come, and I have few few things in this bag, and those are wrapped in a wrapper so that the speaker will not able to see, or they can feel it and they can choose according. So it's a wrap. It's in the wrapper. It's a surprise for you. Okay, and the timing for the table topic is 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, timer will show the green card. At 1 minute 30 seconds, timer will show the yellow card, and at 2 minutes, timer will show the red card. And we have a 30 second grace period before and after speakers. Okay, so who wants to try? Who wants to try first? No, it's a normal thing.
Or something. देख के नहीं निकालना है बताओ
Welcome everyone, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and my dear. I've taken up this challenge. I think speaker just speaking, Navi was saying, how is the first time when she came on the stage? It was same with me when I took the timer roll and I was like setting. I could not see in front of the card what was written, but I have overcome it. I'm very happy. So speaking about the potato, how many of you like potatoes? Most of us. This is my savior. Savior all time savior. So if you don't think about what vegetable we can cook, potatoes are ready. If you don't know what to cook when a guest is coming around, yeah, at least we can cook a potato. And I think so most of us like potatoes. I know few people who don't like potatoes, but most of us like potatoes. And what is the content? Is it good in vitamins, proteins, microvitamins, carbohydrates? So I think so the health industry has made a much fuss about it that potatoes are not good. But I think it's very good for us. Anytime you can have it, it's already saved with us. But then we can buy it in bulk and keep it with yourself. And anytime everyone loves it. Maybe it's French fries, tikki, or anything. So it's my all-time savior. And I already have a dish ready at home when I go home and have it. Thank you very much.
After that.
Good evening, everybody. The topic is Bindi. Yes, actually, this topic is especially for girls, not for guys. But yes, how many of you admire a woman who wears Bindi? Even women also admire others. So this actually Bindi, it adds to the beauty of a woman. And I've seen like men like it is actually an Indian tradition to apply bindi. But many of our foreigners, when they wear a sari and apply bindi, they act, you can feel a national grace is added to that particular lady. So bindi is an epitome of you may say it's beauty, it's a charm, grace. Yes, we can also have a unique twist in the sense we can also try applying bindi on a western wear, which will add a different flavor. And if you add, and I think once we add a different, once we add some sort of innovation or some sort of different flavors, I think the slowly and gradually people will start accepting. So, yes, I urge everyone to wear. Your itself and those are traditional. They like after the Durga Puja. So I wore a bindi and then Diwali and all. Like, yes, we all wear bindis and it actually adds to the beauty of our fully. That's anyone else? Not to look. Please don't look at that. Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Hello guys, myself Shrikant. I'm a fellow attendee and guest next. This is the first time I've been to the Toastmasters session. This is a perfume, a pocket perfume. So you know how it has helped me a lot of times. I'm in a sales profession, so I go for a lot of client visits and especially something to tell about. So I used to serve with the pharmaceutical companies who are based in the MIDC area. So I used to sell software as a product selling to pharmaceutical companies in the MIDC. A lot of times, when you travel from your offices to the organizations, meeting plant heads, etc., you're sweating like anything. You don't want to leave out the impression that the person doesn't want to see you the next time, right? So something like this has helped a lot, right? And yeah, that's all I can think of.
To qualify, you have to speak 30 seconds.
Okay. And eventually that added to the help is a bit of my profession as well. Somewhere I think even when you're not so prepared for meetings, etc., but just for your casual sake, when you're going out to meet friends and not up in your game, you can wear such perfumes and that helps you. So keeps you fresh also. So those are some of the advantages of such products. As a sales guy, I'm trying to say like,
Yeah. You sales first.
thanks. That's about it. Mahesh Raj. Good evening, everyone. I'm back. So this is a common thing that I think each one of us are having right now. Philosophically, it's got what
a pen represents is like in war, you need sword. In education, pen is like a sword. So for a country, we have big politicians, we have powerful people, but journalists can put them down, can bring them down. Actually. So pen plays a very important role. I personally like to use a gel pen because I'm fond to use that. So I use it for journaling on a daily basis. So I journal I have a gratitude journal which I use on a daily basis. So I use the best pen for that. Very expensive pen because I want to make sure that it's a special one. And yes, so pen is the most important thing.
Myself in this, and I have a terrible stage fright. So I was reading about getting over it, and there was one article wherein they said that when you speak in front of a lot of people, you get sweaty hands. And how do you get rid of that? It's now first is why do we get it? So our body temperature suddenly goes up, and that's why in the environment, when it interacts with our skin, the sweat comes in. And this article suggested that whenever you have sweaty palms, grab some. So I guess that's why, because when I was just thinking about saving me today. At least I have 30-second cover. For the next 30 seconds, I would like to say why I don't use it. So I'm a software developer by profession, and it has a sticky note. So it is very difficult for me to write, but I can type easily. So that's why I use a digital note than for paper. Thank you all.
That too, Mahima carefully picked up 50 paisa coins. So probably coin reminds us of everything from my childhood. Can anybody tell what is the hobby of collecting coins? Philately. Philately is the art of collecting coins, which is a dying art, of course, collect. But from our childhood, from at least in my childhood, I've seen people who have had great amount of coin collections from all over the world, and those coins are selling in lakhs even today also. So that's one of the rarest rare habits that you can find on a hobby which you can aspire for, but not today. It's nothing too much to say about coin, but there's one thing which we hardly see. The advent of UPI. We actually don't pay in cash, you don't pay in coins, and what do you get out of it? That's how recently I saw 20 of these coins also. That was something, but that's all I have to say.
Yes. Yeah. The matchbox.
Yes, I really use it for lighting, and it's a great thing because it is a symbol of light. It helps us create light, and there is a huge importance of light in our life because if there was no sun or darkness for um, long periods of time, then we have seen in countries like Canada, there are people suffer from various illness because of lack of sunlight, and care is also very much important because we have seen that children sometimes in wrong way, and we have seen an incident of a girl who had got fired because of it. So it is very important to use that box in appropriate.
Oh, chai.
Wow.
Feedback.
So tea bag inside, green tea. So, whatever we see in life, we relate it to some story. So when I saw this small packet, what I read like green tea, so it took me to a couple of days earlier, like, what I used to do. So I'm a tea lover basically. How many amongst us are chai person? Yes, coffee or in between. Okay. So why I like tea, I don't know. But morning, get up, the first thing I do, take a cup of tea. Go to office, first thing, cup of tea. After lunch, cup of tea. One day my boss said, man, you are drinking a lot of tea. I'm not worried about your health, but look at the bill, man. So, but still I cannot resist saying no to tea. It's like that's what I like, or that's why I love towards tea.
Any last?
Yeah.
So hi everyone. This is the second fashion accessory that we are seeing
Girl too.
I mean that bangles are good looking and they are very underrepresented in the masculine segment. So parallels also remind me of bands which used to have in school. You know, One Direction, Justin Bieber, Metallica. Yeah, and used to look really cool, especially the ones with neon on them. They used to shine in the night. So I think this can be a good idea, starting right here from Toastmasters, to develop a segment. Maybe selling on Myntra or some other fashion website. A sort of banger band hybrid, maybe, which can have many designs. Yeah, maybe I'll think about it at night. We have space for all these. So, yeah. Yeah. Some food for thought.
One minute, 30 seconds. 1 minute, 49 seconds. Yes. We can go for 1 minute, 25 seconds. Masters, Maheshwari for 57 seconds, not 45. Yes, Hitesh for 1 minute, 8 seconds. Master Sandeep for 1 minute, 5 seconds. Yes, for 1 minute, 30 seconds. And guest 1 minute, 15 seconds. Toastmaster Soham for 1 minute, 45.
Everyone, I think I have said enough of you by asking a lot of questions. So I leave the floor open to you. Just quickly, in maybe 1 or 2 sentences, if anyone wants to share about their own personal experience with the dog, whether you have one or yes, no, or one dog. Yes.
Understand.
Yeah.
So my cousin has a cat, but he went out of patience, so they kept the puppy at our place. He stopped eating because we were seeing new faces, and I had to literally have to have video call transfer to make sure that that he's there and he's there only after seeing him when he started. They just said like they have this unconditional love that proves that really didn't actually get.
Can I
Yes, go ahead.
So we don't have pet dogs, but there are like 2 dogs that come to our home thrice a day. So they come to our home thrice a day, they eat, they sit there, they spend like they go roaming, like they have a habit, they're coming since past 1 year. So dogs also have nature. They two are complete different personalities. I think the grand girl, the brown boy. The boy is so sweet and simple, whatever it is. And that girl, she not eat chapati, even if they give mix in milk, still she will not eat it. She wants milk and only milk. And whenever we go here and there, she has this habit of going into the room and sleeping in our bed. I don't know what she's so crazy about sleeping in the bed. Like, very so calm and sweet and very so
Yes, please.
So they wanted to leave their house. They were making. First time it was for my daughter, she was all alone. So we were also very scared. It's big, golden. Then we had these two dogs, but not a new. So she just took the positive take care of the dog. So I was literally like, here, how did she take care of the dog? And she got, she was so pretty. Loving. After I reached there, so just seeing her, I just, well, you please care. I don't know, I'm very scared with you. But it's like in a day or two, you so open to me. Like, I should just, I don't come here, and just tell you. Then I started making food and you'll not tell me. Slowly it was so adjusted and I love it so much. But finally, when honestly, he was just silent. Why did it take that? But we missed it and we laughed.
Just one final thing, there's a coffee cuddles cafe.
Yes.
There are 3 or 4 cafes in Mumbai, and this is one of them. My daughter has been there, not pet friendly. There are dogs inside. You can just go have coffee. You can spend time with dogs. And you cannot bring your dog there. They have their. It's a very good concept. There are 3 or 4 cafes.
Yes, so actually I've been there this year. In fact, photo of my the poster for today's meeting is from there. That, so, that head out for today.